Let's get you the latest now from Hong Kong, where protesters have been gathering in front of the Eastern Magistrates Court. More than 40 people appeared in court for their role in a recent protest that turned violent. 44 protesters were charged with rioting by the police yesterday, including a 16-year-old girl. The defendants include a chef, a pilot, a nurse, an electrician, a construction worker, a teacher, several clerks and 14 students. Now, this is the first time that authorities in Hong Kong have resorted to the serious charges of rioting since the protests began. Under Hong Kong law, rioting is defined as an unlawful assembly of 3 or more where any member commits a breach of peace. Conviction in such a case carries a 10-year prison term.
It's really easy to come through a riot charge, and part of the reason is because riot charge is a collective crime. So even the person who are charging didn't do any inciting violence or didn't do any behavior violent, they are still held accountable to others' behavior. And I think this is wrong. This tells you this system is rigged, and there is some problem in the systems because people should be accountable to their own individual act. But now the government is using a collective crime to claim a peaceful protest as a violent protest, and then arrest everyone and then charge them with riots.
Moments before the court proceedings were set to begin, hundreds of protesters gathered outside the court, braving the steady drizzle. Student participation has been a major highlight of the protests in Hong Kong so far. The demonstrators were heard chanting "Reclaim Hong Kong" in Cantonese to express their support for the people who have been charged. Hong Kong has been rocked by its biggest political crisis in decades. Thousands have taken to the streets, not only in the downtown business districts, but also the border regions, to protest against the contentious extradition bill. Yesterday, the protesters targeted Hong Kong's Tu Keng Leng station in an attempt to disrupt the train services. Activists blocked train doors, causing delays and partial suspensions and causing commuter chaos. Now, similar scenes were witnessed in a different country as well. A protest was organized at the University of Queensland over China's influence on Australian campuses. About 100 people, including a group calling itself the Transparency for UQ, rallied against the Confucius Institute, a China-funded school. Event organizers said international students opted not to take part for fear of being identified.
Your university accepting, we know exactly why. The Confucius Institute on campus